family. God bless you. You're tuning into another exciting show of Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, let me tell you, we are getting very near the holiday time, and joining me today is a very, very beautiful person, but she is busy. So we had to get this in before the Christmas tree and we start eating dinner. Let me tell you. We have joining us today Miss Nicole Warner. She is a busy woman. She's administrator and marketing director of Beth Ann Place at 1143 North Laverne. Is it Laverne?
Laverne.
Laverne. All right, in Chicago. And so she's joining us because we wanted to just take some time to first just talk to someone who is boots on the ground. What we know is we are living, and we greet you. I repeat, we greet you with the love of wearing masks, and we also have our sanitizer. We are living. This broadcast is during the pandemic of 2020, and we are here because I wanted to speak to administrators and people who are working with our most valuable demographic, our beloved seniors, as we call them, people getting better with age. Now, Nicole has been busy. Let me tell you, she is at a facility that is doing great things. And I just want to welcome you to our broadcast, Nicole, today. Thank you so much for being with us. How are you this beautiful day?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
That is great. Let me tell you. So let's talk about, we know we are, as I mentioned, we're living in this pandemic. Let's talk about the beginning of 2020. We had plans, we had calendars, girl, loaded up to serve and be in the community and have fun. Tell us what the first few months was like at your property, and then we're going to lead into the shutdown and where we are today. So introduce yourself and share with that the beginning of this year as you being the administrator and director of Beth Ann Place.
So the beginning of this year started off pretty different for us all, like you said. In fact, I was very ill at the beginning of this year. I get a cold maybe once a year, lasts a couple of days. I was out of the office for almost 2 weeks. Had respiratory infections. That's what I was diagnosed with. But now that I look back, I'm like, well, maybe I had COVID. And that was between December and January, because I don't get that ill.
Mm-hmm.
But so upon returning to work from my illness, of course, I think March 8th is when we started incorporating protocols, and we shut the building down. No visitors, no outside guests. You all are on lockdown. We incorporated all types of policies and procedures. We've been very fortunate. The Beth Ann Place is a part of Asbury Healthcare, and we've been very fortunate. We have not suffered from lack of PPE. I know many hospitals and other communities, skilled care nursing facilities, and I even know of some supportive living facilities who had to reuse masks, had to bring in their own mask. We had plenty of protection here. So that definitely helped. It was very difficult telling grown, older women and men, 65 and better, no, you can't go outside. No, you need to sit down. I can't go to the store. No, you can't. Well, that was the hardest part.
Well, let me tell you this. You're going to make me laugh over here. This is what I want us to talk about. There were so many calls to my office. Girl, they told me I can't see my mama. And that's my... I said, hey. First of all, that's why I'm glad you were here. We've had Carolyn Stewart from Bethel Terrace. We had Tony Warren on. Some sharp people in the community that know what's happening. And all of you women come to this program and sit in your positions with empathy. And I was trying to tell people there is something called procedure. There is something called protocol. Do you not think we are going to try to avoid you from not seeing your loved one? But in the interim, I told people, please, first of all, if you have a loved one in a facility, you should have a relationship so that you can say, hey, what is the update? And the communication is great. I don't think any building closed and say, we closed, you can't see your loved one and see you soon. So there has to be, so tell us what happened in your building, how the relationship worked with you and your residents as well as their families.
Right. So obviously we use letters, so that we can send out to the residents. We have communication throughout the building in the form of signs, and,
Mm-hmm.
our CNAs and our staff are reiterating the importance of being quarantined during this area, during this time. And we also have a website set up with Asbury Healthcare, in which Beth Ann Place has a section, and every notice that we send out, we upload it, and so the families are able to read those notices as well. As long as we have email addresses, phone numbers, they know every time we upload a letter, so they have access to that. It's a password that the families have access to. If we have a case, if we are in quarantine, we keep that open with the residents and their family members.
So let's be clear. We disobedient.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, what was their response like? Because I know there was resistance. What was the response like? And just, it be as transparent. We're not giving away any names, or situations per se, but we just don't want to follow the rules sometimes. And I had one man call me and said, look, this is my TT. I'm responsible for her. I said, well, if she ain't got no phone in her residence, well, let me tell you, sir or ma'am, buy a prepaid phone and take it to the building, and maybe they can give it to him or her so that you can have communication. A lot of the workers and the essential workers have been more family members to the residents, and some people doing FaceTime, all types of things. So how did you keep your residents engaged? Because that's why I use the word people getting better with age, because our beloved, they busy. They not
Yes, they
sitting
are.
around getting crocheting, looking at the wall in the corner. They moving around, they line dancing, they want to party, they want to go hang out, they want to go to the casino or bingo, whatever they want to do. So how'd you keep them engaged? Because that's a big task.
Yeah, that was very difficult because, like you said, these are some very independent residents over here.
Right.
They get it in.
Yeah.
And so, and I assist them with that. We used to have wine and nuts on Fridays, and they would still come down for some wine and nuts. And
Uh-huh.
they would still want. We used to have bands that came through. They still wanted the bands. We just had to, it's a very difficult time. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them understood it, some of them don't. We have family members that of course want to see their families, but most of our family members were very understanding. I
Mm-hmm.
told one resident that he couldn't go outside. He told me, "You outside?" Like, well, sir, I don't want to be here, but I am essential.
Right,
I'm here to
right,
protect you. I would rather be home in my bed too, like you had the opportunity to.
right,
But I'm here. We're here to
right.
protect you, and I have such a great staff. No one missed a beat.
All right.
Everybody still came. Everybody still engaged. We were encouraging to each other. I mean, but it was a big daycare center around here for a long time.
Yeah. So
Adult daycare center.
that's right. So let's talk about this. The property itself, how many apartments do you have and how many styles?
Okay, so we have 85 units at the supportive living facility. We
Okay.
have studio and one bedroom units, and these are very spacious apartments. We have some of the corner units that are very large. Did I lose you,
No,
Clarence?
we're good. We're good. Go ahead, dear.
Okay. We have some corner units that are large, like I was saying, some mid units that are large. Uh, the bedrooms have attached bathrooms. They're really nice units. They have linen closets in some cases. So they're really nice units. We got about 4 different designs of units.
Okay. So let's give our listening and viewership the term of what supportive living means.
Okay. So supportive living, I always like to, and you are actually used that term earlier. When I talk to people about supportive living, I say, have you ever been on a cruise?
Yeah,
And it's like a cruise. Everything you could ever want is on the boat.
that's right.
So supportive living is the in between. You don't need to live on your own for whatever reason, but at the same time, you're not quite ready for skilled care. So
Sure.
it had to be a mid, in between. And
Yes.
I too love the concept of supportive living. It used to be many years ago, you either had to be at home with your family caretaking you, or you had to go to what they used to call a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
And many people, my grandmother did not want to go to a nursing home. If you please don't put me in a nursing home. If you do
Yeah.
anything, please don't put me in a nursing home. That was just, nothing against our skilled care communities, because those are very needed as well. But it
Yeah.
was just a stigma associated with being in a nursing home. So this is the in between. They still get the support that's needed. However, they have some freedom. They have
Yeah.
some independence,
Yeah.
and they could take any of the services, uh all of the services. They might just need one service, but the service is here, and that's the beauty in it all.
I think I love supportive living because it's a way for especially someone who has a home, and let's say your children have gone and you raised your whole family in a house. It's a great way to downsize and still have everything you want. I mean, you got meals. I mean, you got the nurses on staff. You got now. Do you all have transportation?
We do have transportation
For
as
group
well.
outing, see what I'm saying? So that's another level. It's a great concept, and I just really thought about it. For those who have still maintain these big homes, you really don't have to. I mean, some people want to keep it, I understand, to pass it down to their children, but if you know your kids ain't coming back to state or whatever you're in, consider supportive living. It's a great concept for downsizing. First, you get 3 meals, you got nursing staff, you got exercise program, you got transportation.
You do. It is really a great concept. I mean, I do empathize with those who are downsizing from their homes, and the biggest challenge is letting go of the memories
Yeah,
of that a home brings. And for people who have never lived in apartment living, that's difficult too.
tell the truth.
So
Yeah,
I will be one of these individuals that wouldn't want to live around all these different people.
right.
So I get it.
Okay.
However, like you said, when we don't need to hold on to all of that stuff that's in our houses.
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, I look at my house now, and I'm about 20 years away from supportive living, and it's packed as it is. So you imagine another 20 years of bringing stuff home you don't need?
Let me say, now you on my street, girl. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have sat in either my office or in my bedroom, and I said to myself, how many times I'm gonna move this pile of sweaters from one side to the other.
Right,
In 1 month, it was in that corner. Then I moved to that corner. Then I put
right,
something I had. I said, okay. And so sometimes I just felt better, and I did it over the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm not joking. I just looked at stuff and I did the rule. Have you wanted it last?
right,
People say
right.
2 years. I say 3. Sometimes you may find something to go with. I just took and I donated it. And
Mhm.
I felt less, I felt relieved that I was able to
Right.
pass on to someone that would really use it at that time. So let's talk about your staff. And please, please, please share, if you would, about how you've worked as a team, because the COVID, knowing we are so touchy feely, we huggers and all that stuff. So how has it been working and seeing your residents and knowing you hug and whatever you do
Right.
in a greeting capacity? What
Right.
has it meant to you to say,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
it's
God?
it's been difficult because as you indicated, there's different personalities. You have those who are natural outgoing people, and then you have those that kind of keep to themselves anyway. So it's been very difficult trying to merge all of those different personalities and trying to comfort all those personalities. Like, I mean, I'm not a hugger, but we have residents that's gonna force you to hug them. So, to tell them we can't hug, that was very difficult. And they will get sad, but as time went on, they started to understand. Like, I had to redirect a lot of them to just turn on the news. Even those who weren't watching TV, we would have staff to go turn on the news, because if it's coming from us, unfortunately, it doesn't always hold as much weight. But if you see it on the news, well, the news said.
Yeah, right.
So what 60 Minutes said. So
Mhm.
so yes, we had them turn on that news, watch what's going on, not just here, but around the world. So
Yeah,
I think once they saw that this wasn't just a Beth Ann place or a Chicago thing, they saw how serious this virus truly is. And I have to remind them often, we're very blessed. You've
mhm.
not seen your neighbor die.
Yeah,
You've not seen, as far as I know, they don't even have family members that have died. Everybody has been very, very blessed in this situation. And
yeah.
that's what we got to focus on, is the gratitude aspect.
Talk to me now. You on my? I like that. That's a very great way to talk about it, because as I've been sharing with people, and I was on some calls earlier before the broadcast. I'm going to bring an expert on during this holiday time. Our minds can go in several places,
Right.
and especially as those who are caregivers, are essential workers. And there's a term that I heard at a conference I was a part of in last month, and this woman says sometimes you just have compassion fatigue.
Hmm.
Hey, I'm still here. I'm going to be with my loved one. I'm going to take care of my residents. I'm going to take care of my patients, but I is tired, and so we
Yeah.
have to find a way to reset ourselves. And uh, the next 2 days in our broadcast, I'm bringing on two close friends of part of Senior Talk, who are going to talk about how to reset yourself in this pandemic.
It's needed.
Yeah,
And I think that's the case with our staff. It's it's an emotional,
yes,
tiredness.
yeah,
And I've had many people to just think that you just sit behind a desk.
yeah,
It's a mental space that you really have to keep healthy, because you get tired.
yeah.
I've had staff and I've had to tell them, take a break, go in the office, cry, get yourself together, do
Hmm.
what you need to do. It's not frowned upon. Take care of you. Take a mental health day. Go out for lunch. Even if that means eating in the car, get
Yeah,
out the building,
right.
get some air. So yeah, I truly encourage our team to take care of themselves. I mean, I know a lot of people say residents first, but I truly believe that if my staff is not taken care of, your residents will not get taken care of.
Well, as they say in the airline business, when you get ready to before they depart, what they say,
Put
in
your
the
mask
case of
on
an
first.
emergency,
That's right.
you take care of yourself and then,
Right.
and so I know personally, I had to, that's what I was telling people. People are used to Senior Talk being out there and working with seniors and being as visible. And I was on a call last week, girl, we missed the movies. I said, we can't go to the show. I
Right.
mean, we just say, but we're gonna find a
Right.
way to do it. I'm serious, but everybody
Right.
got Zoom and all these great internet platforms have really, we got to take, as we say, take the upside of things.
Hmm.
What have we learned? Some
Right.
people finally got on the internet. Some
Hmm.
of us have finally got an email address, because sometimes you have to communicate that way. So we all have now become a part of the digital age, invited or uninvited. It's now a part of how we are living. And just like Tony Warren is saying, self-care is essential. I knew that I would not come back to be as visible and have an influence that I do, and I was not be impactful. But yes, I have close friends now who have loved ones who are on ventilators. I have friends who are just trying to self-care and medicate at home. I mean, many of our colleagues, even watching the news, some people in media who wear protective gear, How did you contract it? So now we have to go home, and I wash clothes in my home literally sometimes two times a day. Well, at least twice, at least every other day, just because we're out in the elements, and you
Exactly.
still got to go to the grocery store. So who knows how you're going to catch it and from where? And we were to be
Exactly.
now the vaccine is out. So there's a stigma about the vaccine. I don't know if it come on my street if I won't take it because I don't know them. You know how we do. So have you heard anything about that in the community? I know nursing homes and supported living, they're going to be they're tiered somewhere in the vaccine distribution. How do you feel about it?
Well, I have mixed feelings as well, but I think it's worth taking a chance, and that's what I tell the residents all the time. I want the death to stop.
Yeah.
And if that's the course in which we have to go, we have to go. Yeah, we are tiered to actually in the next week or so, we're going to start vaccination. And it's time. It's time. People have said, well, why haven't they found the cure to cancer? And why haven't they found, I don't know the answers to that. Prayerfully, that's coming soon as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as many deaths as we have experienced this year due to this virus, whatever helps, so
Whatever.
be it.
So yeah, and we're supporting the efforts, and as you said, we're paying attention to the CDC and the chemist.
Exactly.
Hello, that's clear.
Exactly.
And we have to give a shout out because there's a sister who was very, very, very much in the orchestrating and development
Right.
of the
Yeah.
vaccine. So we got a cheerleader for her. We got a cheerleader for her. And I'm just saying, why not? If it's available to you, you should do it. Thankfully, on my end, as you said, I don't have any family members that have been directly impacted, and I have a massive family. I mean, all over the country, and we were all on a Zoom call for the holidays, and I'm like, wow, and no one reported. That's a big to do. Knowing that this traveled from somewhere and now it's so close to us, we don't know what the next steps will be. So, how are you planning to, let's say, move into 2021?
Mm.
What's on the plate? How do you celebrate the holidays with your seniors? I mean, last year y'all had a prom, y'all got it in, and for real. So what's it going to be like for you this holiday season, knowing that some family members or some seniors won't see their families? Is your building open? Tell me about that process now.
We are not open since the second wave of COVID hit.
Okay.
So we are not open. We can schedule window visits for residents
Yeah.
where their families visit them outside of a window. Many of my residents, as I said earlier, are very independent. So they have iPhones. So they're FaceTiming. They're not missing that type of connection.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously everybody wants to hug and touch and kiss,
Yeah.
but that is just not where we're at now. We are doing individual gifts, going knocking on doors and giving gifts. We're not playing music in the hallways. We're not even decorating because what we have found is that will cause a congregation. We don't want the residents to sit around the tree or to look at the decorations because that's going to cause them to group together.
I
So
never thought about that.
yeah, so
Oh,
we're it's kind of bland around here yet safe, and that's the intention. We're going to give them a beautiful goodie bag and stuff, and like I said, as soon as they say so, we gonna party.
yeah, turn up. We gonna turn up.
We gonna
Okay.
turn up.
So
Yes.
we're sharing the information, of course, and if anyone wants information about Beth Ann Place, you can call 773-287-2700. Now, we talked about this in our green room. You're still accepting residents,
We are.
but
We are.
there's no tours per se.
There are no tours.
Okay.
Um, so there are no tours. We do have some pictures we can show. But there we don't want people touring through the building. These are not our residents yet. They are applicants. As much as we could do electronically, we try to do.
Okay.
Once they are approved, obviously they will see the unit. But even in that, we ask that they quarantine for 14 days once they are approved and admitted into the community. And that's just another layer of safety precautions. We're just trying to do everything, as you said earlier, in which we could do to make sure we're safe. We're wearing uniforms.
Tell the
I got a
truth.
closet full of clothes and can't wear my clothes. But again, we're just doing everything to try to keep the virus out of our building.
Yes.
We are actively accepting applications like most communities. COVID hit us as well. People moved in with their families. They got scared. We didn't suffer from any deaths, as I was saying, but it was just really a scary time. So we do have units available, and we actually are getting an uptick of interest now too. So
Yes.
we would love to place people so that they can have a nice home to stay out until they say otherwise.
And I am encouraging people, literally, as you said, if you are an individual, especially looking to downsize, or you're single in a home by yourself for many years or so, this is a great option. First of all, there's meals, there's transportation, but also you have people who are working with empathy and care. How long have you been in this game, Nicole? Because you've been around for a while. How long you been doing this thing, girl?
I've been in supportive living from since 2005.
So
I've
needs
always been in housing,
Yeah.
but my friend got a job in supportive living, and I live on the south side of Chicago. I've always worked north. I was like, girl, well, if they open one down there, let me know. And lo and behold, they were, and I opened. I think maybe the third supportive living in Chicago,
Oh,
in Roseland. And I opened that community, and I just love supportive living ever since then. So yeah.
that's awesome. Well, I just want to thank you again. We're also going to be sharing this broadcast on our podcast station. We're going to share it with you to share with many other communities. And we just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being as transparent and, for being an essential worker. Real talk. You show up. And some people don't know that people have lives outside of that. So you still got to go home and take care of your family and then be a supporter to them. So
Exactly.
no easy task, but essential workers are wearing the cape seen and unseen. And we need to also, if you got a little something you can put in the envelope for them, please do so. I promise you. Real talk, just a little dab of for lunch, cup of coffee, the gift card, whatever's necessary. But show essential workers love. So I thank you, Nicole. You are awesome. You are awesome. Again, everyone, Nicole Warner, Administrative Marketing Director, boots on the ground, wearing uniforms, got her clothes in the closet because she can't wear nothing else right now.
Right.
1143 North Laverne in Chicago, 773-287-2711. And for more information, this will be in our Senior Talk newsletter coming out, as well as on, you can view this again on Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard on YouTube and Facebook. You are awesome. Happy holidays to you. I got a minute. I can't believe y'all ain't got decorations. Well, come on now. that a tree, but we will gather. We will gather. It's a spiritual thing, and we will gather. Oh my goodness, I am done with that. Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. A tree. I forced my husband to put up a tree just so I can feel the Christmas spirit.
That's right.
And the lights. Right. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. So yeah. So everyone, stay tuned. I have a special show coming up next Wednesday with Chicago veteran DJ Al Greer. So Nicole, if y'all got, we're gonna send a communication. It's gonna be on my page. We're doing midday music memories, having some fun, and maybe the seniors can watch this program in their residence on YouTube.
That's right.
So let's try that.
Okay.
I tell people, soap operas is gone.
That's right.
Senior Talk with Claire Hubbard is your media platform.
All righty.
Talk with Claire Hubbard on YouTube, Facebook, 12 noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless you, Nicole. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as we say, in complete darkness, we're all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separate us. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Everyone, do yourself a favor. Even though we have an incoming president, he wants 100 days with masks. You better start wearing your mask now.
Amen. All righty.
Don't play with the game. So everyone, thank you for making us a part of your day, and we look forward to serving you soon. Everyone, take care.